I don't know what kind of future that leaves for my kids, to be honest. That's what I'm thinking.
Scary.
Like, it's going to be tough for them. They're going to have a very tough... And now I feel kind of... And that's why I don't blame people when they say they don't want to have kids as much, because I'm like...
Who wants to bring them into this world
where we feel like they're setting them up for... like,
where capitalism has destroyed everything.
Like, if you know your kids were going to go into The Walking Dead, would you still have kids?
Yeah.
No, right? That's like being in those shows and there's a pregnant chick. What's wrong with you? Why would you...
Potatoes and conversations?
No, like papas, like we're dads. You know what? Yeah, potatoes and conversations.
What's up, guys? Welcome back. Episode 3. I'm here with my boy Christian, I'm here with my co-host Christian P.
I thought you were about to call me your hoe.
That's my hoe, homie. Yeah. And I'm Mauricio, your co-host, Christian P. We're here talking about Papas y Platicas.
As always, pleasure to be here. Pleasure to be here with you guys. Thank you for tuning in.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for all the love, man. I appreciate everything.
Yeah.
It means a lot. You guys tuning in, talking, leaving comments, suggesting things. We're here. We may not always catch up in time because we do record some of these ahead of time, but we're working on that Avatar episode.
Yeah.
We're working on getting guests eventually, and we'll see how it goes.
Exactly, yeah. But like he said, we appreciate not only the love, but also the constructive criticism, the feedback we've been getting on what we can do better, what we can change. But yeah, thank you guys.
But yeah, bro, how you been, man? I know it's Thanksgiving week.
Yeah, man. I've been all right. Yeah. Had a few days off, which is always nice.
It's very nice.
What you do for Thanksgiving?
I burnt my turkey and triple smoked the ham. That's great. Okay. Yeah, accidentally. So it's supposed to be double smoked, but I thought it wasn't.
Yeah, the
enough.
extra one. Yeah.
No, I had issues. Usually I deep fry turkey because honestly, it's super easy. I mean, you literally just brine it for I don't know how long, and then you dip it in 3 gallons of oil, and it comes out great. It tastes delicious.
Are you not scared of burning your house down?
I am scared, but I'm not as scared as I am hungry to get some of that fried chicken and some fried turkey. No, but seriously, I've done it like 5 times now.
Yeah.
And it's like just turn the flame off, dip the turkey, dip the turkey, and
I'd like to apologize.
Yeah, I apologize to
the words of my co-host.
Right. We do not believe it. And let it fall in. Any oil, spills over, it doesn't matter. It's turned off. And turn it back up. Wait 45 minutes, and you got a whole bird.
I've never had fried turkey. I heard it's baller.
It's pretty good. Yeah.
I think turkey's very we didn't do turkey. This year because we're like
tough.
we don't like it.
Yeah.
But I've heard fried turkey is dope.
Right. And this year I was like, I got a smoker. Sissy got me a Traeger last year, and I was like, for Father's Day. And I was like, I've been smoking out that butt. You know what I mean? Actual butt.
Actual butt. Yeah.
Smoked butt, pork butt, briskets. It's been great. I've been doing great. Beforehand I used to have a regular charcoal grill. Okay. And I'd sit out there and it had a little offset box, and I would tend to the fire. Honestly, it's nice being out there smoking, drinking, having fun. You know what I mean? Tending the fire.
Vibes.
I mean, you're not even doing much besides trying to make sure the temps are good. If it's too hot, close the vents. If it's too cold, throw a log in or whatever. It's cool. I don't mind it, but I'll do ribs 5 hours. I'll do something smaller 3 or 4 hours. No, ribs are 3 or 4 hours, but I can't do a brisket. It's 12 hours, 8 to 12 hours. And I'm how am I supposed to sit out there? People that do this professionally have 1,000 gallons.
Shifts and stuff.
I mean, they have those room size smokers so that you can chug logs into it and it'll still be low temp, so they'll just burn themselves all day. So I was like, yeah, I guess I'll never do a brisket. And then says he got me the Traeger, and I know it's pellet smoking, but I'm not gonna lie, dude. It comes in clutch. It is essentially an outdoor oven, but
that's pretty dope.
It's a very delicious oven that makes great food. And so I was like, hey, we're doing turkey. Let's smoke a turkey. Brined it, did everything, threw it on there. I was like, I'm going to Carlitos for a little bit. We'll hang out. We'll come back, check on it. 2 hours later, I came back. I ran out of pellets. This just never happens. Now I'm looking at it. I'm like, who knows? God dang it. So now I'm freaking out. The tree. I got to I don't know what. No, I got pellets, but the box ran out. I was supposed to refill it. I didn't realize it was going to burn. I've never burned through a box of pellets that quick. And I guess this is higher temps. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, that turkey ended up. I said, screw it. Let's throw it in the oven. Finish it in there because like you only really needed a couple hours to get that smoke taste.
Mm-hmm.
Finish in the oven. It just did not work out. It ended up really burnt. I mean, the breast was pretty good, but some of the parts were very crispy, really extra crispy. And I was like, all right. I told Sophie next time, whoever's making the turkey, they let them host because it's a lot of pain in the ass to have to like balance who's where, what's where. Like, and then when I was done with it, I was like, how the hell do I take this to her house? I don't have a dish big enough. So we just like finding pots and pans, and I don't know. I was trying to find a way to take it. It was pain in the butt.
No, I get that. Like, I went to my parents for Thanksgiving, and same thing. We didn't know how because we made all the food. We didn't know how we were going to transport it.
Yeah.
We didn't make a turkey. What I did do, so I just recently started using this crock pot that has just been sitting like under, like in a shelf for like ever. It is the dopest thing ever.
Oh, really?
I used it for the first time, and I was like, how have I never used this?
No, I love crock pots, dude. Yeah. They're so amazing. Like, you literally toss everything and walk away.
And walk away.
Yeah.
Go to bed, wake up, and like, oh,
food's
it's
ready.
perfect.
Yeah. Or go to work, throw everything, come back, and there's dinner. Like, it's
or your
great.
house is on fire. One or the other.
You know, either way.
It's a win-win. Insurance pays out.
I don't know. Yeah, I agree. It's they're a must-have. People need them. And I underappreciated them growing up, and I'm like, nah. I think ours is a little too big, and we want to do like a chuck, and they're just it's just too much water, I guess. I don't know. My mom has one like that's this giant. You can do turkeys in that thing, dude. And she did growing up. She would make turkeys in it, but like to be honest, when you ask, my mom is a great chef, I guess. She kills it in the kitchen, right? When it comes to literally any Mexican dish, Hispanic dish, she got it. But when it comes to like American dishes, I think she doesn't have that reference of like what it's supposed to. And I'm not hating on it. No. I love my mom's food, but I can tell that it's completely different. Like if I'm expecting a certain way, it comes out. It has kind of a Hispanic twist to it. Yeah,
it's because as someone who likes to cook, a lot of times you don't really know like measurements and stuff.
Right,
you just let your ancestors tell you what to do. So
that looks about right.
Exactly. So if you're making American food, your ancestors are like, bro, you're on your own.
Who knows? Yeah,
throw some Goya in there.
You don't have the Avatar spirits to go back to
the past life.
Yeah. She's like, no cumin? Mija, you're screwed. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. No, I agree. It's tough. And that's kind of what I do with smoking. Because I made briskets. I've made briskets a couple times now. Yep. They come out great. Juicy, delicious, whatever. But I'm like, how can I Mexican this? Like, how can we throw some chile guajillo in this? Like, for real, right? And without making birria, because that's what it's gonna end up being. It's just barbacoa. But I'm trying to come up with ways to do it. I think what I'm gonna do is make a rub with guajillo, ancho powder, and like actual, like instead of just using salt, vinegar, I think salt, garlic, and pepper. That's kind of the basic. Make one with like ground up peppers and stuff like that, and see if I can get the flavor in there. I don't really do injections. But brisket is super simple, man. You literally just trim it up, rub it down, and throw it in there and don't touch it. Try not to touch it for like 8 hours. You know what I mean? And then, well, that's not true. You pull it out, you wrap it, you whatever.
That's what she said.
Yeah, you don't. You try not to touch it. Unlike turkey where you inject and brine and baste, you know what I mean? Like people seem like when I make these foods, people are like, wow, man, like I don't want to toot my own horn, but it comes out pretty good.
I wouldn't know. I've never been invited or.
That's true. Hey, whatever. Next brisket. We're going to do a papas y platicas. We're going to do a papas and brisket, dude. Yeah. Oh, nice. Yeah. But anyways, and they're like, oh, man, that's great. I don't know how you did it. I'm like, I don't know how I did it either. I didn't do anything. The smoker did everything, dude. Like, I just set it to temp and fall asleep and check the temp every 2 hours. Like, that's it. It's not that crazy. I feel like I'm getting more credit for not really doing much. Yeah.
I mean, that's how it be, you know? Even when I make stuff and it comes out super good and people are like, oh, how do you know how to make this? And I don't want to admit it, but in my head, I'm like, I saw it on TikTok.
Yeah.
It looked good. I was
saw
like,
this
something I
technique.
picked up throughout the years.
It's a little something I do on my own.
Yeah.
Try to spice it up. And a lot
make
of
myself
time
a
it's
great
just like,
husband.
and then I can never replicate it. Like, like I tried to do it again. I'm like, it didn't come out like it did the first time. What did I do
bookmark the
different?
video.
I can't find this recipe. Yeah, I hate it, dude.
Yo.
Yeah, I'm just chasing that. Like, I keep buying the same ingredients, hoping it lands. And
Chasing the high.
Ceci's like, just put it back. She takes it out of the cart. Put it back. Put it back on the shelf. It's not happening again. So no.
Trying to capture lightning in a bottle a second time,
saying, dude. One of these days.
Yeah. Have you seen what's been going on in the Philippines, man?
I did hear about the damn Mother Nature taking back its land. It's crazy. I saw it. It was like something about hurricanes going crazy. Typhoons.
Typhoons, yes.
Going over there, back to back to back to back.
Yeah.
Not letting up.
It's crazy because they describe everyone as like a once in a lifetime, like typhoon storm.
Oh.
And then there's 3 more behind them.
So how many lives have been taken out? It's funny because it's once in a lifetime. No, I mean, it's the same thing. Over here, it kind of happened similarly because it was like we had 3 hurricanes back to back, right?
Yep.
Florida got hit twice. Or was it 3 times? I think it was twice.
I think it was twice.
Just in the top, in the middle, or I can't remember where. And I was like, damn, dude, Florida's getting bombarded, dude.
Man.
That's crazy.
Same thing with like Puerto Rico got hit like twice. You know, it was so bad. Bad Bunny made a song about it.
Did he?
Yeah.
Ah, dang. I'm assuming proceeds went to those. Probably not.
Oh, probably not.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. But yeah, it's crazy. And if you look at like the Doppler, the radar, it's crazy because you see like one typhoon pass and then just another one forming.
Right back. Yeah.
It's crazy.
I don't know, man. It's insane, dude. I mean, I don't know. At this point, it's like, why would you keep? I mean, at the Philippines, you don't really have a choice. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. It's
Ceci has a little nephew over there.
Mm-hmm.
In the Philippines, yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it is very crazy. She has a little nephew. I think his name is Carl. And he's a nice kid, man. He's really nice. And it's like, I think about it like, dang, dude, it's got to be rough.
Yeah.
Living in there. And an island is so damn claustrophobic, right? Because you're there and you're like, if something happens, like when Jim Carrey, I think it was Jim Carrey, but he was in Hawaii when they had those false alarms.
Oh, yeah.
And they were like, oh, you guys are about to die. Just let you know, FYI, it's not a test. And he's like, well,
this is it.
I guess I'm going to die. And he said he came to peace with it.
Yeah.
And it turned out to be fake. But I'm just like, as a as a father, dude, I'd be like,
scary. No, as a father, it is very scary to think about these events. Like I think about it, especially don't do drug, kids. But when I am high and I go down that like thought process, and I'm like, the world's ending, bro. Like,
it does give you a very pessimistic outlook. I think of it like, I think about what's going on in the world. I think about what we do. I think about where I'm from, and I'm like, this is not sustainable, man. I mean, and I'm from Monterrey. They have a huge drought issue. It's kind of like Vegas, where they just don't have water, right? They've pumped like decades and decades of pumping water from Lake Mead. Now you look at pictures of Lake Mead, it's dry. Like there's no water, dude. For that lake goes from Vegas, Monterrey, Los Angeles. It feeds a lot of those towns.
Yeah.
And they're just, I mean, even the land is starting to
recede.
Well, even the land is starting, because they're pumping water out of the ground.
Oh.
And just to put golf courses in the desert, you know what I mean? And shit like that. And I'm like, dude, how long can you keep that up? You know what I mean? It's unsustainable. With all these one-time use plastics, to me, it stresses me out, right? I see it everywhere. And I'm just like, I never thought about it before, but I'm like, think about how many trash bags we fill up and toss out every week. And now, how many bags have we created in our lifetime? And I'm like, where the fuck? The trash isn't going anywhere. We're just burying it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, that stuff is finite. I mean, how long until we run out of the materials to make it, right? Because it's made out of petroleum. It's made out of, plastics or whatever. And I don't know what kind of future that leaves for my kids, to be honest. That's what I'm thinking. Scary. Like, it's going to be tough for them. They're going to have a very tough... And now I feel kind of... And that's why I don't blame people when they say they don't want to have kids as much, because I'm like...
who want to bring them into this world where
like where we feel like they're setting them up for like
where capitalism has destroyed everything.
Like if you know your kids were gonna go into The Walking Dead, would you still have kids? No, right? That's like being in those shows and there's a pregnant chick. What's wrong with you? Why would you?
Well, that did happen in The Walking Dead.
It did, yeah. And you saw how that ended, I think. I don't know. I stopped watching after a while.
Yeah, I don't know how it ended.
I just go off the memes. Lupe kind of ruined that for me, by the way.
Okay.
She's like, did you see up to the part where blah, blah, blah dies? And I'm like, no, I have not. Why would you tell me that? Like,
I guess, yeah. I probably wasn't going to go back and watch it either way. I know Carl loses an eye or something. That's all I know. But it is scary. And there is... the moment in my head where like I pictured the nukes going off and like Adi and Nati and I just holding hands. Like I guess this
what
is it.
Can we do, man?
Yeah.
I do feel like that's very. I don't know. I mean, what can you do? I mean, we live pretty close to a big area.
Like Atlanta.
Yeah, I didn't want to say Atlanta, but we live pretty close to Atlanta. Like if Atlanta gets nuked, I think we're fucked.
I don't see
maybe
them.
not you. Maybe I think you might be on the edge where you might have like mutant babies or something like, you know what I mean? Like
I become the X-Men.
yeah.
Open up my own school.
New Magneto over here. New Professor X.
I think you're right the first time. I'd definitely be more a Magneto than a Professor X.
I would say so. If I had to choose between who Christian would be, I'm like, nah. He'd say, fuck these normies, dude. We're the next level right here. Which just, he's not lying.
No, he's not wrong.
He's
it's
not
the next
wrong.
step of evolution.
They are the next level. Like if you can move shit with your mind, dude.
Yep.
Versus having chronic back pain for the rest after you're 30. Like you're not going anywhere.
I feel like I'm going off on a tangent here, but I do want to highlight Magneto.
Magneto.
The absurdity to think that he's not the next level. Because he's not, he doesn't control metal. He controls, like in the comics, he controls magnetic waves. Like, so he can,
that's
the spin of the
he's
Earth.
Omega level threat, dude. He's an Omega level.
It's absurd. It's absurd. Okay, but I'm sorry. I digress.
right. Sorry about that, guys.
No, yeah. I never miss a chance to nerd out.
Yeah.
But it is scary, man. And when you look at things like this, it's harder to say, like, how do people think, like, climate change is not real?
Yeah.
Or like that. We're not destroying the earth.
I think a lot of it is just negligence, man. They just intentionally don't want to believe in anything like that. Because how could, if there's a lot of people that are stuck on these process of, like, if my grandparents did it and my great grandparents did it, like, why would I do something different? And it's like, people don't realize that the modern world is not that old, right? It's like our lives are relatively new. Yeah. Like people 100 years ago were wiping their butt with freaking corn husks. You know what I mean? And like 100 years before that, they were using like twigs and shit. Like
exactly,
a lot of stuff. Like the speed at which society has evolved is insane, right? Yeah. And I think we're reaching a point where it's kind of make or break. You know what you do now? It's like, all right. There's like this golden era. What I'm trying to get at of the like 80s and 90s. That people were like, just do whatever they want because it wasn't an issue. There was no limit. There was no
pissing through resources.
Exactly. Because like, we'll figure it out, right? Like the 70s, 80s, 90s, like you just like, you can have gas guzzlers. You can have like the most wasteful resources.
Gas was like 80 cents a gallon.
Exactly. Yeah. Everything was so abundant. You can like mass fish overfish in the ocean and now it's like, well, we've been doing it for 30 years. Why would we change now? And I'm like, because we're running out. Bro. I mean, like it's not.
But the powers absurd. That be have so much invested into the status quo. So money. They're like, no, any change, we don't want that.
Even if they know it's bad. Like even if they know it's like, well, it's kind of like how when it comes to like being a CEO and trying to push the next quarterly bump, right? Okay. And it's like, even if it costs us the company 5 years down the line, as long as I'm CEO,
exactly,
we're gonna bump this up this quarter, right? And then when we get down that road, I probably won't be CEO by then anyways.
Exactly.
That's literally
not my
the mentality.
Next guy's problem.
That's the next guy's problem. That's literally the mentality.
That's the mentality of all the people in power, the mentality of even like the presidency.
Right.
And this is why I am a big advocate for age limits in Congress. I think there should be age. If you're telling me you have to be at least 35 to run for the presidency, why is there 80-year-olds running? Like,
I mean, people look at it as we want someone experienced, but at the same time,
like someone that also isn't senile and has
how about that, right?
No dementia. That'd be nice.
I mean, no, I agree, but I agree too, man. I mean, if you're making decisions that's going to affect someone's life in the next 20 years, and you're only going to be around for another 5, and you shouldn't be making those decisions.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Outside of just being, old and whatever, but like they're also out of touch. They don't know how the world works.
Thing, yeah.
Exactly. Like you've seen the dispositions where they're questioning like the TikTok people,
right.
Or like Mark Zuckerberg, who I am not a fan of Mark Zuckerberg, but the line of questioning they ask him, I'm like, do you know how the world works?
Right. They have no idea. I mean, I don't expect a politician to be educated in every aspect of life, but when it comes to, I mean, they should have people.
Exactly. They should be briefed.
They should be briefed. They should have someone around them. This is how this works. This is how they're doing it. This is what we should question. And instead they're asking like, I keep seeing this ad for 2 guys kissing. Why is it doing that? And it's like,
ads
sir,
are targeted, sir. What's your search history
that's
looking
you,
like?
My guy. Like, what are you Googling? Like, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, stuff like that is like, bro, like, what are you asking?
Exactly.
Do you even know how this works? No, they don't, You
have Mitch McConnell having a stroke during an interview, and I'm just like,
I saw that.
Why is he up there?
Yeah.
Like, it's
at
like
that point,
weekend at Bernie's at this point. It's ridiculous.
It's crazy because Bernie's older than all of them, right?
Yeah.
He's like 86, something like that.
Like,
and he is so
sharp as a tack.
Sharp, dude. This man is...
It's because black don't crack, bro. That's what it is.
I guess so. Yeah. I seen him on... I think he was on Theo Vaughn's podcast, and he was just, interviewing and talking and getting back and forth. And I'm like, man. And then I'm not going to lie, I hear the argument for Biden, and I do hear Biden speak, and I'm like, damn, he's old, dude. He needs to get off the stage, dude.
He does.
Like,
he does.
He doesn't know where he's at half the time. I get that. That's true. All right, whatever. And then Trump, he just goes on a tangent 24/7. Like, he doesn't even know.
90% of the time.
He starts talking about McDonald's and Elon Musk halfway through, and I'm just like, what are you talking about, dude?
And that's
I don't know. He's definitely, I feel like he's getting to a point where I feel like he maybe doesn't know what's going on. You know what I mean? They're just like, oh, trust me, this is what he wants to do. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is what he really means. Because people do say now he'll say something crazy like, no, what he really means.
Like, read between the lines.
But he said it. What do you want me to say?
This man doesn't understand nuance. Like, come on.
He said we have a concept.
A concept of a plan.
Anyways, this is a whole other, we'll go deal on that. But I'm just saying, all I'm saying is there definitely needs to be someone more in touch, understands what's going on. Because even when they're not, let's just say they're not demented or whatever, I mean, they're still way out of touch. The life they grew up in is gone. Exist. It's not the life we live in now. A lot of them were saying, I went to school, I worked a part-time job to pay for my law school. And they're like,
okay.
What? Like, that's insane. Like, that you cannot, that's, law school now is like $100-200 grand. You know what I mean? Like, how would you afford that, the part-time? So
I am curious, like, if you ask the average member of like Congress that's above 60, how much is it to go see a movie, what their response will be?
I've seen that. I've seen clips where they ask, like, people ask their boomer parents,
oh, really?
Oh, how much do you think? He's like, well, for a movie, I'd say $5 for the ticket and probably $3 for popcorn. And I'm just like, my boy, you better be going to Redbox, bitch.
I'm saying, Redbox doesn't even exist. You can't even get on demand at that price point.
You can't even get, for real, $5 movie? Where, bro?
I'm saying. I feel like I have to take out a second mortgage every time I go see a movie.
Dude, for real, man. Oh, my God. I mean, I'm not going to lie. What I do appreciate about the movies now is they're starting to do more like theme-based popcorn stuff, like actual merch for the movies. Cool. So they did like Carlitos got the Godzilla King Kong container, and they did the Deadpool thing. I think that's kind of cool. I think a lot more industries should need to focus on that stuff, like music.
Yeah,
and like it's like people don't buy CDs anymore. But if you came out with like what the fuck? What's his name? Tyler the Creator dropping a new album. He's releasing the set with the vinyl, a t-shirt, like collectible. people would probably buy that, right? Like, but nah, yeah, I agree, dude. It's just so out of. They just don't know how the world works, man.
Yeah.
I mean, they're so out of touch, in tune. You think? I mean, a lot of it is like, do you think people they keep calling the younger generation lazy? You know what I mean? And it's like, bro, nobody wants to live with their parents. Nobody wants to be in a position where they can't afford the life that you had. You know what I mean? And the people that do have it is from, you know, either getting really lucky or their parents helped them or inheritance. Wealth. You know, I think me and Ceci, the reason we own this house is because we were just kind of like, it was 2018 and we were just like, I think it's time to buy, right? Yep. I think we have a little money saved up. We can do it. Why not? Fuck. And growing up, I used to be very like, what's the word? I'd take a lot of risks. Sort of. Okay. Very like, you know what? If we tried, if it doesn't, it work. Right. That's why I had like 7 girlfriends in high school. Not at the same time.
Whoa.
But back to back. I did date a lot of girls.
I didn't know that. I'm seeing a whole different side of you right now.
You know, I was like, what's the worst thing to say is no. And I guess that ultra instinct confidence just kind of like, I wasn't going to say yes, but now I feel like I have to, right? Yeah. No, but Ceci always jokes around about that. But I was just kind of like, screw it. And the worst I could say is no. And, you know, they never said no. I don't know if I intimidated him or I don't know how that worked, but.
And walk on, hey, baby,
you're going out with me tomorrow. No, and when I would do all these crazy jobs and try new things. I try to go to school, being undocumented, trying to go to school. And like, by the way, don't recommend it. Super expensive. They charge you out of state. Like, you would never pay in-state. I've been in this same county all my entire life. And they're going to charge me out of state, which is 3 times more. Like, I might as well go to Georgia State. Like, I don't, you know, God damn it. Well, we already said Atlanta. Who cares?
Yeah.
And you know, so when we decided, I told Ceci, I think it's time to buy a house, even though we didn't have a lot of money saved up. We did some research and we got lucky. We found a loan. I mean, I told her, look, I don't want to buy anything over 100. I just want to start her home, so to get started and get going. Down the road, maybe sell it, buy something bigger.
Yep.
And she's like, okay, whatever, let's do it. And then her cousin sells houses. She's a realtor, and she helped us out. But she found us a loan where we didn't have to put anything down.
Nice.
So, I mean, we just got really lucky. And it took us forever. Even in 2018, it took us like 8 months to find this house. Because every time we'd go in to make an offer, it was getting bought up, cash. People were paying cash. And I'm just like, whoa, dude, something's going on. Because these houses are not lasting.
Exactly.
And people were buying cash out. They're outbidding people. Like, you know, you never know. Because, you know, with contracts, you don't know what other people are bidding. But they're like, yeah, nah, dude, you can't compete. Like, they don't even want to do an inspection. They don't want to do, like, they're just.
Cash on site. Yeah.
You could see it, like, even back then, I started to see how aggressive the market was. And I told her, if we couldn't get this house, we're just going to wait until the next year to try again. And I'm glad we didn't wait. Because we bought this house super cheap. It was a nice old lady. I think her husband had just passed away. And they were just giving us, you know, hey, you know, I guess they wanted us to give us the house to start our family. And I appreciate that a lot, you know. So we got lucky. We got lucky with the timing. We got lucky, you know, that we knew the right people and
stars have to align.
And it sucks that's what has to happen nowadays. You know what I mean? I mean, like, you either have to have some kind of help somewhere, influence, or know somebody that's selling. I don't know. I really don't know how. A lot of people, millennials, from what I understand, they get the homes they get is because inherited money or parents or. I wish I had parents that could give me money for a down payment. You know what I mean? But my parents, like I said, you know, struggling beginnings. Children. I'm like where it starts for my future generations in America. You know what I mean? So it's kind of.
I think it's like that for a lot of like Hispanic millennials our age, where we are the first ones kind of building the blocks, the base like
foundation,
that Caucasian people have had for centuries. It is difficult. We had a similar story where we were looking for a house, and same thing. It was just getting bought up super quick, and like we text our realtor like, "Hey, we want to go look at this." She'd reply next day, "It's gone."
Yeah,
it's like that sucks. And we finally looked at our house, and I remember the day because I made it there. Adi was still at work, and she was like, "If you like it, we'll get it." Aww. And that's very much like her. Right. She's very much like,
that's how frustrating it was.
Yeah, she was just like, "Look, it's been very difficult. If you think it's good, let's go for it."
Yeah.
So
no, because it's heartbreaking, dude. It's so frustrating. You find the house you think this is the house. This is the house I'm gonna raise my kids in, and the next thing you know,
gone.
psych, motherfucker.
To like
Fuck outta here.
nameless corporations
Right, exactly.
out of like China or something.
Yeah.
And I remember that night I text our realtor. I was like, hey, we want to put in an offer. And all my life, I've been told like, hey, don't ever pay the sticker price. Pay under that,
Yeah.
like haggle.
Oh no, you can't do that.
Can't do that with the house.
No.
And I didn't know that. I texted, I was like, hey, I'd like to, nothing crazy, like 10 grand under. And she was like, I don't think you should do that.
Yeah.
And she was like, if anything, like bid the asking price,
Right.
if not over. And I was like, all right, cool, I'll bid the asking.
Yeah.
Thank God they accepted it.
Yeah.
And
Because you can't negotiate.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing that's frustrating. Like they say the house has been in the market for 3 years. Even you make an offer, they can't counter offer, right? Like you just have to make another offer and hope they like it. You don't know what direction to go in,
exactly.
right? Like,
It's
that's
weird
crazy
and it's frustrating.
It's a weird process.
But thank God they approved the offer and we got the home or whatever. But even then, my realtor, the next time I saw her, she was like, I'm just letting you guys know, literally hours after you guys put in your offer, someone came in over. So if they didn't approve yours, theirs, and then you would have gone.
Oh man.
And I was just like, whew.
They legally got bounded.
I
Yeah.
know. I was like, gotcha.
Yes, sir.
Now we can negotiate.
Right.
There's a contract.
Right.
No.
No, the roofing needs to be replaced.
Let me see that earnest money.
yeah. No, yeah, because dude, nowadays you'd be lucky to get asking price, dude. I mean, everything's over. And that's the biggest thing with COVID. After that hit, a lot of people were paying these insane prices. And I have no idea how they were appraising. I don't know how banks are going back, yep, that house is worth it. Like,
Oh, yeah.
What?
My house has appraised like $100K, and if anything, I've damaged the home. I don't know how it's worth more.
Dude, I don't even want to tell you what this house is supposedly appraising for. Well, my taxes have been going up because of it, and I'm just like, nah, we need to go show them pictures of this house. This is not
the county must have not been here in a while.
Yeah, I know y'all knocked that neighbor's house, but come on, it's been a while, my guy. It's not it. Nah, but yeah, it's crazy, dude. And I hope it gives up, but I don't see it anytime soon, man. I think as long as corporations can come in and scoop up these businesses, these homes, I mean,
corporations are people,
That's true. Yeah, they have every right.
Thanks, Reagan.
They have every right to own homes like we do, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Nah, I don't know. I don't know what would have to change is people would just have to like lose a lot of people would have to lose their homes. Or we'd have to, like, for some reason, build millions of houses. Like,
but even then, like, they'll just buy them and rent them out.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, I see a lot of new housing, especially in my area. And I'm just like, who's buying these? No one can afford these. But they're getting
the prices
bought
are
out.
insane.
Yeah. I don't know. We need a French Revolution. That's what we need to do.
Someone needs the guillotine.
Yeah. When can we eat the rich?
Yeah, guys, thanks for tuning in. I mean, we had a lot of fun. I think this episode was a little more serious than
than our last episode.
Yeah, but Thanksgiving and family, and there's just a lot to talk about.
Let us know if you like the more like random, just funny stuff topics, or more serious and like world events type stuff. Let us know. Let us know in the comments, and we'll try to be better about what our audience wants to hear.
Right. I think I do enjoy. I try to incorporate a lot. Like one of the things we went over was like what we always talk about is what topics we're gonna go over.
Yeah.
And then I'm looking at them and I'm like, this shit is depressing. And I'm like, let's spice it up. Let's throw in some funny stuff or some memes in here. And I think we kind of missed that on this episode. I forgot to do that. But that's definitely a goal of mine to try to like lighten things up. Because some people if they try to tune in, they want to forget about the world and move on. Think about something fun and this and that. And I try to balance this out. Eventually, we just it's kind of hard because you can plan it as much as you want. And then we start talking.
You just start talking.
And we end up talking about The Walking Dead, which was nowhere near.
That wasn't on our list.
That was not on the list. Yeah, most of this is not. We never hit anything on our list.
Facts.
Yeah.
We text before this, and we're like, "Hey, this is what we want to cover."
Yeah,
I think we covered maybe one or two things.
One thing probably.
And we just went off on tangents.
So unless we're gonna start doing like 100 episodes a week, then you just have to let it go.
Also, I want to emphasize we record these ahead of time. So if you see 2 episodes with me wearing the same shirt, I do own more clothes. I may be impoverished, but I own more than 2
I asked
shirts.
him to bring another shirt. No, I didn't. We'll just do one with a shirt and then the other one without a shirt.
Without shirt. Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, guys, thanks for watching, man. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. Thanks for the support, and hope we see you soon.
Yeah, much love, and like, subscribe to keep the music alive. Love you guys.